I'd like to invite Deborah Skipper, Assistant Managing Editor, News Bureau, and the future of the Clarion Ledger, to come forward, please, for our next award recipient. Don't shake your head. Did she? Come on. Don't be shy.
Yeah, this is a surprise for Jerry. He wasn't expecting me. I am the Assistant Managing Editor for News and Business, but tonight it's probably more important that I mention that I'm Jerry's supervisor, colleague, and friend. It's fitting that Jerry is being honored tonight by an interfaith group dedicated to eliminating prejudice and promoting peace and harmony, because the three words that best define Jerry's work are justice, atonement, and reconciliation. Jerry's work in pursuing unpunished crimes from the civil rights era has helped bring justice to the memories of Medgar Evers, Vernon Dahmer, Ben Chester White, Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, Michael Schwerner, 4 little girls in Birmingham. That's just a few of them. All were victims of racial hatred and fear. And Jerry has helped bring justice to them and closure to their families. When Jerry is asked the question, and he is often asked this question, why he doesn't just let the past stay in the past, he replies with his own question. If you're a child, you're a father, your husband, your brother, your sister were killed, would you be so willing to let the killer walk free? That usually ends that conversation. But with this justice has come atonement. If not always for the killers, personally and spiritually, it certainly has brought atonement to the South that had allowed these killers to walk free for so long. And finally, with atonement comes the promise of reconciliation. In this journey of Jerry's toward promoting reconciliation, this cradle Catholic has found a professional soulmate in that cradle Church of Christ. It has been my privilege to work with Jerry, and it is my very great honor to give him this award.
For now. I always say behind any great reporter is a great editor, and that great editor is Debbie Skipper, and I happen to think she's the best boss in the world, so please give her a hand too. I love Debbie. She's more than a boss. She's been a dear, dear friend and confidant and everything else to me over the years, and I can't thank her enough. And she's great. She's great for bouncing ideas off. She's always got better ideas than me, so then I think they're my ideas. So. But she's great. I feel so honored to be with you here tonight and to really talk about these issues that are so near and dear to my heart, that of justice. You know, so often people think of justice as what happens in a courtroom, but it's so much more than that. You know, because justice is really about how we treat each other. And more importantly, how we treat the least of these, how we treat the people who are different from us, who have different faiths, different religions, different backgrounds, different skin colors. That's what justice is about. And when justice comes, as it has in these cases, as Solomon once said, it brings joy to the righteous and terror to the evildoers. I kind of like that last part. But to date, there have been 24 killings, these unpunished killings, that have been re-prosecuted and there have been convictions. And it all started right here in Mississippi. I will share one quick story. I mean, the most amazing thing to me has not been the convictions. It's been some of the racial reconciliation. And some of you have heard this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Not too long after Sam Bowers, and Sam Bowers was the head of the White Knights, the Ku Klux Klan in Mississippi, the most violent Klan organization. And he was convicted in that case, and the guy who helped convict him was a guy by the name of Billy Roy Pitts, who was involved in the killing himself and got caught. But he pleaded guilty and he testified against Bowers, and this happened in 1998. But not too long after Bowers was convicted in this case, Billy Roy Pitts testified in a hearing. And when he got done with the hearing, this involved Vernon Damer, the killing of Vernon Damer by the Klan. And when he got done testifying in the hearing, he walked to the back of the courtroom and he ran into the widow of Vernon Damer and several of the Damer children. And Billy Roy Pitts apologized to Mrs. Damer for killing her husband. And she forgave him. And she began to cry. And the Damer children who were there began to cry. He began to cry. And I began to cry. And isn't that what God does for us? Forgives us when we have no business being forgiven. Isn't that really what redemption's all about? Trying to make things right, even when they've gone so terribly wrong in the past. May God bless you in your journey of redemption. Thank you so much for this award.